General B.S. Jaswal, former Army Commander, Northern Command. General Satbir Singh, Chairman of the Indian Ex-Servicemen Movement. Maruf Raza, who himself has very strong views on this. And I'd first like to go to Subhashini Vasant, who's wife of late Colonel Vasant. Thank you very much, Subhashini. Arun Jaitley reacted. After 2 days of this broadcast, Mr. Jaitley reacted. You heard him there. He said, I'm going to tell the Karnataka government to immediately move on this. But you waited for 7 years for this to happen, and frankly, till it was really made a big issue in the media, there was no response. Tell us about what you went through.
True.
And where do you want to now take this forward?
Frankly, Arnab, thank you so much for taking up this case for all of us. I really did not know where else to go because I had met everybody concerned and I was hoping that they would do the needful, but nothing was done. And as a last-ditch effort, I said, okay, I will go like a screaming child to the media and pour out all my angst. And this is precisely what I did with you yesterday. And I'm very happy that you have helped convey my voice to the right ears. And indeed, it's very heartening to listen to the Defense Minister's promise. But I will only be rest assured that only when actually I see the papers, and people have told me that this is only getting the government order is only the first step of the hurdle crossed. The next step is to survey the land, to fence it, and actually have it is another ball game, I believe. So I hope I won't have to go through all those trials because I'm really beaten and down right now.
No, when we were finding out about these kind of cases, we found horrible cases there. Unbelievable cases, General Jaswal, where, for example, Major Shafeeq Mahmood Khan Ghori's family, he was martyred during Operation Rakshak. 2 acres of land, only 2 acres, promised by the state government. He was posthumously awarded the Chief of Army Staff's commendation for his meritorious service, and his wife is still running around. So I don't know what more needs to be done. Every case can't be picked up by the media, General Jaswal.
First of all, I would like to salute all our martyrs who sacrifice themselves on the line of duty, as also salute our Veer Naris who all by themselves walk with their heads high in pride. Unfortunately, they have to walk all by themselves because the society has only apathy towards them. A case in point is that of Subhashini. It is unfortunate that there is no feeling of empathy towards them. I am very sentimental about it. I, for one, I am the younger brother of a martyr. My elder brother died in '65 war. And just like to highlight that since my father was also a commissioned officer, when my brother died, my father was not given any pension from '65 to '73 because some ruling was there which stated that a person cannot draw 2 pensions. Is that the kind of apathy that the bureaucrats have towards a martyr? This is a story all along. Our families are Veer Naris. I'm sorry to say on the news channel also they were referred as women. Sorry, I would request you that they be referred to as Veer Naris. It's a kind of a favor being done to them, which is their right. This particular feeling, I would also like to highlight what is there abroad. When a soldier from Afghanistan travels in a plane, the entire lot gets up and claps for him. Even pregnant women, they get up and get their seat to a soldier who's alive. But that's the kind of respect we have. And over here, there was a martyr's body being carried in the aircraft, and the officer escort just requested the pilot that would you please pay tribute, and mentioned that a martyr is on board. He refused. Is this our society who expects everything from army, from the defense forces, and they cannot give even a bit of empathy towards a martyr? It's a sad state of affairs. I'm so glad that the defense minister has straight away taken on this. And let me tell you, after the Kargil war, it was the government that time which really hyped up the value of a martyr, and that was the first time that our Venaris got lots of dues. I wish this kind of empathy is there, and I'm sanguine that this government will definitely take care of our Venaris and the parents of our martyrs.
I cannot agree more with you, General Jaswal. You know, I'm also happy here. I'm just coming to you, General Satbir Singh, next. You know, I am very happy here. And I am reassured that Arun Jaitley has reacted. He spoke, he said, I'll take up the case. But here's a great opportunity for Mr. Arun Jaitley not to take up only the case of Mrs. Subhashini Vasant, but to actually institute some kind of an open, transparent inquiry and finding out of all the cases, and then this government with its own clout can follow up with the state governments, because one thing is at the central level, one is at the state level, then it will come down to the local level, right? And it is at every level. I mean, when I'm hearing this story of Kargil martyr Amit Bhardwaj, lieutenant in Fort Jat, he lays down his life for the country to save his platoon. Today, his memorial has turned into a dump, police dump with empty alcohol bottles. I mean, imagine what his family goes through. You see beer bottles lying around a martyr's memorial. I mean, it also tells you our own culture, what we have become.
There is no accountability.
But I agree with Subhashini.
There is no accountability of the bureaucrats.
I'm just coming back to you, but I wanted to get General Satbir Singh as well. Yes, General Satbir Singh.
Aruna, thank you so very much. I think your channel is brought out this very one case. But what I want to mention to you, since our organization, Indian Ex-Servicemen Movement, is roaming about in the villages to find such cases, other day we had gone to Pataudi, an old lady, 65 war, a Veer Nari, whose husband was actually martyred during the battle, but she was getting a petty pension of 3,500 rupees. A case was taken up from the Jat battalion, and I suppose now she will be considered as a battle casualty. Look at it, 65 to 2014.
My God.
Many such cases are existing. 4 more cases which are very live to us. There is a case from UP. There is a last night Amarjeet Singh. Now, his widow, she's also martyred since long. He's martyred since long, but the lady who was promised is without the whatever was promised. There is another one, Feroz Khan from Andhra Pradesh. Last night, Feroz Khan's Veer Nari, again the same case. We have another Rajesh Kumar from Himachal Pradesh. So what I want to tell you, Arnab, that every year there is a meeting held at various state headquarters which is called the Military Civil Conferences. About 20 to 30 such cases are brought to the notice of the state government. They listen, after that they forget about it. I want to only suggest the systems have to be put on place. Now you will be shocked to know that out of the 647 districts in the country, over 300 districts don't have the district soldier board secretaries posted to the district soldiers board. Similarly, we do not have a system in the Ministry of Defense where they can look after the systems very well.
No, so
you have a
General
DSW,
Satbir,
which
General
does not,
Satbir,
yes,
no, General Satbir, basically the sense I get here, and I'm going to go to Maruf, I'm coming back to you, Subhashini, after that. You know, my biggest problem is A, that there is no structure. B, that the support system for a martyr's family ends maybe, you know, with the gun salute, right? And then the martyr's family is left to fend for themselves. And what I just wonder, what kind of a country are we We want to be a superpower, but we make these martyrs' families, their children, their wives, their mothers feel small, Maruf. We make them feel like they are being done a huge favor. I mean, on the one side you carry the pain of losing your loved one, and on the other you are made to feel small by the country who they have given their life for. I mean, I think this can be one of the things that Mr. Jaitley takes up right at the start in a big way. Maruf.
Yeah, one second,
Maruf.
one second, let me...
Arnab, you see, I have very strong feelings on this subject, as you know very well.
Yes, Maruf.
And what I want to say is, let me look at it top down. If you don't respect your braves, you will have nobody to go out and die for you in the coming battles and wars. If India wants to retain its territorial integrity, it has to give more than lip service to its soldiers. General Jaswal has rightly brought out how much a soldier is respected abroad. We are busy aping American culture when we use their slang, when we wear Levi's jeans, when we go for Coca-Cola and McDonald's. But for heaven's sake, also understand it is that same United States of America which respects every soldier, dead or alive. If an officer walks into a restaurant in his uniform, he is informed by the manager, "Don't worry to pay your bill, sir, it will be taken care of." But in this country, people go from pillar to post. I've spoken to Mrs. Vasant recently, and she was generous enough to say that she is going to wait for another week, 10 days, and see if this government in Karnataka would turn the corner. There is a problem. The problem is that there is inconsistency. There are three types of benefits that a soldier and his family expects. One is the insurance money that is promised to you when you serve. So you go out and put your life on the line, and remember that the country and the establishment will feed your family. Ask these people who deny the soldier their dues, if they're going to be without a job, how their family will feel and how insecure. Here the bread earner is gone forever, and they are having to bow down their head in front of incompetent and indifferent bureaucrats. Why can't the government and Mr. Modi use the issue of a martyr to incite a certain sentiment in his favor in the Himachal election campaign? I would urge this government now, if they feel so strongly about martyrs, for heaven's sake, move forward on that front, and everyone will salute you. Because you giving your supreme sacrifice, there's nothing more you can offer to the country more than your life. And if in turn you know that your family is going to be standing and waiting for what is their due, would you go out and die? Other countries have become great because they've respected their men who went out and defended their frontiers.
That's right.
I just lost that line with Maruf. Subhashini wanted to come back, actually. I'd like to go back to Subhashini. Yes, please, Subhashini.
See, Arnab, when I was going through my own case with the Ashoka Chakra emoluments from Karnataka, I realized that there is a lot of discrepancy across the country in the way each state treats its martyrs and the gallantry awardees. When a soldier is commissioned into the army, he salutes the Indian flag and respects the Indian borders. But when he is martyred, each state is left to deal with him as they please, when they please, according to whatever whims and fancies prevailing at that point in time. I would like to humbly request the new government to have a uniform policy and a directive to all the states that this is exactly how they will treat the gallantry awardees and the martyrs' families. There should be one policy, and there should not be any delay in giving them that. I mean, one thing is we have to deal with our loss and all the trauma that we're going through. Apart from that, we also have to run around for all these entitlements, which should just come to us like how our pension comes.
Yeah.
It's very humiliating and embarrassing. In fact, I smothered myself for 6 years without wanting to voice this concern.
Yeah.
Yes, Maruf.
On a quick point, please.
Go ahead.
You see, what happens is that in certain states which traditionally have faced the brunt of their people going and dying in battle, because there is a relatively larger representation of people from those states in the armed forces, particularly Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and states like that, there is a far better, well-oiled mechanism to give the deceased soldier and their family their due. It is in states where this culture hasn't percolated down, and that is the point I think Mrs. Vasant is making.
Yes.
Where we need to have a national consensus.
But Maruf,
there are individuals I know who have devoted their life, to doing good for servicemen, and they are not even from a military background.
What comes to my mind is that in Karnataka, we did a series of reports 2-3 months back, where all these MLAs came together and they gave themselves on government money a holiday and they called it a study tour. And when it comes to their own things, they went across the board calling it a study tour, the same politicians from Karnataka. And then you make a case like this go on for 7 years. I'm wrapping up tonight. I think everyone's spoken. And yes, General Jaswal, I'll give you one more time. The point is very simple here.
I'd like to just...
General Jaswal, yes. General Jaswal, okay. Yes, General Aswal,
yes, I would like to tell our countrymen today, a true incident which was told to me by ex-Chief Minister, Mr. Dhumal. During the Kargil war, he was visiting the hospital and giving gifts to people. One of the Johnnies, he did not take out his hand to receive the gift. The Chief Minister went 2 beds ahead, came back again to this man and asked, "Are you not happy?" He said, "Nahi saab, mere dono baju kaate gaye hain." So he said, "Ki ye to bahut dard hoti hogi." So this Jawan replied, he said, "Saab, kal tak bahut dard hoti thi, lekin kal Tiger Hill fateh ho gaya, ab dard nahi hai." This is the feeling of a Jawan towards his nation, and our society have no feelings towards him. It is a pity.
Well, we'll make it a movement.
One word.
No, we'll make it a movement.
Yes. The present government, Arnab, the new government has announced that they will form an ex-servicemen commission. If that comes through immediately, then all the tasks should be given to them and ensure that we take stock of our casualties, our martyrs, our disabled soldiers, our retired soldiers, our Veer Naris, so that the nation gets real privilege to
a last
serve,
word to Subhashini.
and the countrymen also be proud of it.
Arnab, my humble request is that they have a uniform policy for the entire country and they have a monitoring agency to make sure that it's implemented.
Well,
thank you.
I thank you very much. Well, I remember what Colonel Vasant Venugopal had told his mother, I think. He said, "I go where all my men go." Today, we need to take that and we need to say, we go wherever our martyrs go. We'll make it a movement here at times now. And sacrifice forgotten is not something we'll limit to this case. We're going to take this forward. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. Thank you.
Thank you.